Now a reminder about changing the batteries in your smoke detectors. Change the batteries in your smoke detectors. And now another episode of Creepy Cheapies with Dr. Lady. I'm Festus Hagen, and today's mask here on Creepy Cheapies is a really creepy one. It's a Creepypasta inspired mask, and it looks like this because this is it. It looks like this, and this youngster is Mr. Slim. Mr. Slim. Now, you might be thinking, if you read some creepypastas, you might be thinking, is that Slender Man? Who is that? I don't know. I think there's no truth to the rumor that Slender Man and this guy got together and started the Society for Creepypasta's Undernourished Monsters, or SCUM for short. I don't think that's because, well, he's not necessarily related to Slender Man, even though he's called Mr. Slim, because he's not really based on one specific character. He's something that they came up with at Ruby's Costumes that would be sort of a creepypasta inspired character, but not an exact one. Now, why do I like this thing? You want to sit down for this, okay? You want to sit down for this. This mask, you can score one of these for about 20 bucks. I know, that almost sounds impossible in this day and age, as they say, but you can get these for 20, and if you're paying more than 30, that's probably high, you know, so hi, Mr. Slim. $25 is about normal for the Mr. Slim mask. And what else I like about it is that it's cool looking. I think it's very creepy. It's an interesting combination of elements. There's sort of a weird synthesis of living tissue and obviously non-organic and non-living components here. You can see he's got ears like a person, right? But most of him looks like he's a bag all stapled together with pins and needles and staples and things. So what is he? We don't know. He's just some horrible, creepy nightmare kind of character. And I love the way the sculpture has these pulled, stressed looking areas. Everything looks like it's, you know, under some stress, like it's being stretched and pulled and held together, just barely held together. And you have to see these eyes. These eyes are amazing in something that's in the $25 neighborhood. They're amazing. They're what he has is clear plastic bubbles, clear plastic blisters like domes going on, all right? And those give him an eyeball look. And then inside there, under the domes, he has printed fabric printed with the design of an iris and a pupil on it. See, there's white, and then there's a brown iris and a dark pupil in there. So it's a really strange, striking look, like he's looking at you, but he's a million miles away at the same time. And I like those eyes a lot. I hope that shows up as cool as it looks in person. And I did not do anything to this one except one thing, and I will bring this up because I've mentioned this before. Whenever you buy masks from Ruby's, they tend to arrive horribly crushed and smashed and distorted. This one was no exception. He had been saved somewhere thusly. And what happened was, and this is the only thing I did to him, I didn't touch the paint or anything like that, but one side of his neck was completely caved in like this, and I couldn't get it to hang out in shape. It was just stuck up like this. So what I did, I put him on a piece of wide PVC pipe. You could use a paint can, maybe a coffee can. Coffee can would be ideal, but I don't know that anybody has coffee cans anymore. So anyway, something approximately that sort of width, that diameter, and I put it in him, and I tipped him. I tilted him like this so that the neck was straightened out as he stood there, tilted, crooked like this. And I left him that way for a few days, and when I came back, he was fine, and it would, since then it's been hanging like it should, nice and even on the two sides. As far as what he is, you know, I thought, well, there must be a creepypasta about Mr. Slim, and I looked for it, but it turns out there isn't. It turns out this was just inspired by that kind of thing. You could make up your own. story for him, because you know that's kind of how it is with creepypastas. You can make up your own mythology and add to the stories that are on there and such. So let's make up one for him right now. Let's make up something horrible and scary, okay? He's Mr. Slim, and he looks like a gray bag, probably because... Alright, here's our horrible story. Let's start some really horrible, scary music on here, can we? Let's have some creepy music. Okay, and let's set the mood. Alright, here's our horrible story of Mr. Slim. He started out, and it's a terrible and dark story too. He started out one night, on a typical night, in the parking lot of Kroger's. You see this bag that says Kroger right on here? Yeah, he was in a store parking lot, and he was created when someone attempted suicide. What happened was an ant that was crawling along the sidewalk in front of the store parking lot tried to commit suicide by throwing himself under the heel of a passing pedestrian. And the reason the ant wanted to commit suicide was because all his life everybody thought he was an uncle. But he tried to kill himself, and the act of someone trying to commit suicide right at midnight on Friday the 13th during a thunder shower created a portal to the evils of the beyond. And what happened was some careless shopper who was texting and staring into their rectangular device instead of paying attention to their groceries had left a sack of groceries on the parking lot pavement right there, and left a sack of groceries in one of those gray plastic bags. And all the evil that was unleashed when the ant tried to kill himself, all that evil, since the conditions were as they were, the evil went into that bag of groceries and endowed it with an evil and terrible form of life. And so Mr. Slim was born. And is he really skinny? No, he's Mr. Slim because the bag of groceries had some packs of Virginia Slims in it, and a whole bunch of Slim Jims, and a can of that Slim Fast, the diet drink. See, so that's why he adopted that name. And Mr. Slim's terrible vengeance will come down upon all who watch this video, it is said. And how it will happen is the next time you're at a store like Walmart or Kroger's or someplace like that and you get a shopping cart, Mr. Slim may punish you from afar using the psychic abilities of his mysterious shiny eyeballs. He will punish you for all the times you left a shopping cart in the middle of a random parking lot somewhere instead of properly pushing it all the way back to the designated cart corral. He'll get you for that. And what he'll do is the shopping cart that you pick up when you're in the store, it will have one wonky wheel that'll sort of pull to the right. And no matter how far you walk up and down the aisles of that store, that shopping cart will pull to the right, and it'll annoy you and it'll drive you crazy, and you'll hear it go every time. It'll go as you're walking down the aisles of the market, and people will be looking like, what is that noise? Look at that idiot with the shopping cart over there. That idiot doesn't know how to even use a shopping cart. And it'll go and it'll annoy everybody, and they'll stare at you, and that will be Mr. Slim's revenge for the times you treated shopping carts unfairly. And well, that's about all I've got for that. So, and I don't even have that. That's inconclusive, but hey, it's enough for a cheapy pasta, right? Not a creepy pasta maybe, but a cheapy pasta. So until next time, remember, steer clear of haunted supermarkets and dead ants, and get yourself a Ruby's Costumes Mr. Slim mask and scare people at Halloween with it. Thank you.